Hi folks, welcome back to Visits with Soxy and Anna Alice. I'm Alice, your yarn host, and I love to welcome you down here around the craft table in the craft room down in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the center of Canada. And yeah, help yourself to some vanilla rooibos from the Little Orange Teapot. That's what we've got happening here. It is so nice and warm too, and it is very delicious. It is freezing outside. Yeah, we're finally coming into some north wind, which means that we're going to be getting some snow, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. For all you snowmobilers out there, you'll be happy to hear that. And yeah, that's about it. I'll put a card up here showing you all the places you can find me on the internet, and you're more than welcome to join me on Ravelry or send me an email or put in comments below. I am collecting questions from the comments for a question and answer video that I'll be doing in the near future. Today I have a little bit of catch up. I've been doing some knitting. Yes, of course. Hey, go figure. I'm a knitter. I have one finished object. It isn't blocked yet. I just finished it this morning, just finished Kitchener stitching it. And actually, I'm not finished as per se the pattern, but I am finished the actual item for what I'm going to be using it for. And what else have I got today to share with you? I've got some little snippets of things that I want to give you some tips on. And yeah, so let's get started. It's going to be short. I want to get busy wrapping up my sock yarn for the coming sock alongs. So I've got that to do today. I'm going to be cooking a fairly big supper so that we have lots of leftovers for the week. I was sick yesterday morning, so that didn't go very good. We went out on Saturday night, had a wonderful Bud Spud and Steak, it's called. And I wanted a hoodie for Walter. And yeah, so let's get underway for the nitty stuff. And like I said, it's going to be a short one, guys. For those of you that are new, this is kind of the way it works, but I usually have a lot more stuff in the beginning, but whatever. Let's get to the knitting before I run out of steam here. Because like I said, I wasn't feeling good yesterday. First open bag. Oh, shall we start with finished object? Yeah, where is it? I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'll put the information up here, or you can go back to my Ravelry pages or back to the previous show. This is the make-along mystery make-along I was doing with Bunny Muff Designs. It was like bust your stash for $1. And it's a beautiful pattern. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? So these are all the colors I just picked around. I put together a package of colors. Wasn't sure if they'd work out, but oh my gosh, I'm very pleased with this cowl. And I don't even know if you'd call it a cowl, it's a neck warmer. So I was here. Now that I've put it together, where's the end? I was here, and where's the Kitchener? I know I Kitchenered it this morning. Okay, so I only did this much. So maybe 3 inches, 4 inches, 3.5 inches. And then I Kitchenered it. You can hardly tell it. Look at that, how good that Kitchener turned out, eh? I did a boo-boo. I realized later, oh, if I turn it inside out, which is now the inside out, this is actually wrong. I followed the pattern and screwed it up. I must have been watching TV, or it must have been late at night. But yeah, I'm going to take off my microphone quick. Take off the Bumblebee Progress Keeper here. And yeah, I'm going to take off my mic quick here. Sorry, guys. So I can put this on without screwing up my audio. So let's put this down here. Stay there. Take off my glasses. You remember from the previous video, I screwed up this and I put that no fray on here. You can barely feel it now. So anyways, I'm going to slip it over my head. And there you go. Here, I got to put my glasses on so I can see you folks. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Because when I'm walking chewy, I want to be able to cover my ears. Like so. So a little bit about this. Let's do the hair. A little bit about this. This is using all scraps that I had kicking around. Put them in little Ziploc bags and pulled them out as needed. And Mona from Bunny Muff Designs went ahead and sent out Once a week, she sent out the patterns in chart form, and you had quite a bit of chart to do in the week, and I didn't get it done. I got 2.5 charts. So I was on week 3. I got more than halfway through it, and then it was the perfect length to go around my neck. I didn't want to make it any longer because I don't want it to slouch in front. I want it to stay up fairly tight around my face, because that's the way I like it for walking the dog. And my favorite spot, though, I have to admit, is this one. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It looks, I don't know if it makes me think of oranges, the center of an orange, or just a flower. What's your favorite spot? Look at these. Isn't that cool? That's a butterfly too. I swear, that looks so much like a butterfly, hey? I love it. That one's cool too. They turned out so lovely. I'm so happy with this. I am going to make another one in the future when I get a bunch of minis that a little bit left here and there. And I think I might make it totally like scrappy. I won't even plan it. This was more planned than anything, right? So yeah, I'm loving this. And now I just have to give it a little shot of steam. And yeah, that will be going in the little, I have little pockets at the back door that we keep our mitts and hats and scarves and stuff in for the winter. As you know, we're in Winnipeg here, and it is very, very cold in the winter, so we definitely dress for it, layer up. I'm not a big hat wearer, but I do like my ears covered. Okay, so that's the only thing I've got finished. But, you'll be happy to hear I got through all the ribbing. All those screw-ups I was doing with my ribbing a week and a half ago. Oh, I am so happy I'm through the ribbing. So I've been working on the Smoke Show. The Smoke Show by Thea Coleman. And I'm done all the ribbing here. This is just a 2x2. Just a plain 2x2 rib. And I've started doing the cable work. And oh my goodness, it's so cool. And I totally flubbed it the first time. And I flubbed this buttonhole. It's she referenced Ysoldas Teague's button one row buttonhole, and of course I thought I knew what I was doing. Not, and I screwed it up, but that's okay. That's also, and I also screwed up all of this. Can you see this ribbing? Okay, so I think it looks pretty, so I have to remember that I'm doing it wrong all the way up. And I'm doing a knit through the back and purl one, knit through the back, purl one. I'm supposed to be doing knit one, purl through the back. No, knit through the back, purl through the back, knit through the back, purl through the back. All the way, or something like that. And I don't know. This whole going back and forth, I haven't done it for so long. I've been going in the round for so long. This is like the whole thing on one long needle. It's going to go like this, of course. And yeah, I'm really happy with the pattern. I just really didn't get the twisted rib thing. Like I said, ribbing is not my friend. I've been totally screwing up my ribbing. So anyway, so this is Thea Coleman's pattern, and I'm doing it on the recommended needles, which is a 4.5. This is a Patton's Astra. Here's a ball band. This says it's a 3-weight, but I'd say, yeah, it feels a little bit more like a worsted, but this is the Patton's Astra, and it's in dark denim. It's a beautiful wool, and it just keeps on giving. I've got enough to do this vest. So I've done a vest for a little guy. I've done knee-high socks out of this wool, and now I'm doing a vest for myself. Out of five balls wool? No, more than that. I must have had 8. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I've been working on my Gaudy Cardi. And guess what, guys? I got the whole body done. I started on a sleeve. Oops, don't lose my needle, my try-on cord there. All right, so here we go. I'm finally on a sleeve, doing this, working on through the sleeve, and I'm done the body, and I'm done the twisted rib at the bottom, the 1x1 twisted rib. Hold still, Alice, come on. I was somewhere over here in the front last time I talked to you, and now I am done the body. Sorry for covering my mouth. This is a steeked cardigan by Julie Knits in Paris, for those of you who are new, and it is absolutely a stunning sweater. It's a short sweater, however, I did add a couple of inches to the length for myself because I like it a little bit longer. Just slightly though, because it's a lightweight cardigan. And yeah, I didn't want it to be a big sloppy thing because it's just not, it's something more delicate. Okay, and it doesn't roll, but when it's blocked, steamed, washed, blocked, whatever, it will lay flat. And look at that pattern, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that stunning? I absolutely love it. I tried it on. I didn't take a picture, but I have put notes into my Ravelry. Oh, I have to put this note into the Ravelry though. I don't know about you folks, but I generally add a couple of stitches if I use my upper bust measurement as my measurement to get the size, and then when I go to make then when I split for sleeves, I always add a few extra stitches under the armhole to allow for my bust line. That works perfect for me, and usually I add 10 on each side, 10 stitches, between 10 and 12, 8, let's say between 8 and 12 stitches, depending on how I'm feeling that day and depending on what gauge I'm getting and the fabric itself. You really have to watch. If you're knitting dense fabric, then add a couple extra stitches. That's what I do. If you're using, like this is very loose knitting, it's not a tight gauge, it's very wingy or stretchy. It's got alpaca, I believe, in it, so it's going to stretch a bit. So I only did 10 stitches, I believe, on this one. And if you end up with a couple of extra to fill the hole, then just do a couple of knit two togethers when you pick it up. See, I've got a little hole here. It's not even barely a hole, but that's where I've got the start of round thread. So I'll go back and I'll sew that little tiny hole shut. But otherwise, yeah, adding a couple of extra stitches in there. You know what? If you've got a larger bust like me, but you're narrower across the top, then I use the smaller size and add it under the armholes. And that way I get my top, especially with these round yokes, they sit much nicer. And also this one's nice because it doesn't have a deep armhole. So it's going to hug up a little higher into my armpit, which will be nice. And I'm really thrilled with that. So I can't wait to get all the sleeves done. There's some more color work like this band on the sleeves. And then I'm going to steek it. Oh, what have I done here? I've caught a stitch down here. Oh, I missed a stitch. I did a sewn bind off on this, guys. And I wasn't very happy with how they wanted me to do the bind off. So I did a sewn bind off and I see I missed a stitch. So I'm going to put my progress keeper on there, because then I will go back and I will grab a needle and some of the wool and I'll just close that up there, and then that'll be that. It's for me. If I was giving it away, it might be a little bit more of an issue for me, but I'm not. It's for me, so I'm good to go. Okay, so that is Drops Nord, and I got this from Wool Warehouse, and this is a blend of polyamide and wool, and 45% alpaca, 30 polyamide, and 25 wool. It is believe it's a 1-2 weight. It is a fingering yarn, and this is in Midnight Ocean, I believe. It's absolutely beautiful color. It's going to look really good on me. I'm very happy with it. And I had 2 balls because I made a Shima from Beatrice Macy a couple of summers ago. And I have her, I think I have her tag. I'll show it to you again. Manjusha Fiber Arts, Tammy Ivanka, here in Lorette, Manitoba. She's at all of our fiber festivals in the area, and I don't think she has an online presence anymore, and I know she doesn't have a store. But oh, sorry, it's kind of looking weird because of my shirt here. But these are the colors. This is called Golden Hour, and this is, I believe, it's an 80/20 fingering weight, her sock yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous. I had 2 balls of that, and I reclaimed it from my Shima from a couple of summers ago because, frankly, I didn't have enough to do the long sleeves, and I really wanted to do it in a long sleeve. That's on my pages, on my Ravelry pages. Please friend me on Ravelry. That would be wonderful. And yeah, so that is Julie Knits in Paris. I'll show you the picture. That's it there, and it's the Gotti cardi, and that is my Anthony Gotti is my all-time favorite architect. He's and designer. His stuff is absolutely amazing, and that's living in my carpet bag style carpet bag that I made. And my beautiful butterfly one. So yeah, so there we go. So that is whip number 2. Whip number 3. You all know I've been working my heart out here. I think I need to put that into a bigger bag. I'll have to get a bigger bag out for that. Okay, in my big giant sweater bag that I made quite a few years ago now, my buck bag I call it. With my little notions case, I put my big sweaters in here. This is my H sweater, my test knit for Beatrice Macy. Oh, I got to pull out all this stuff here. I had to reprint it because I wrote all over the first copy. And now there's, of course, as we do the test knits, the designers go ahead and make adjustments and changes on their pattern. So I printed up the most recent pattern for myself. I also use this because I am doing the pattern. Here, if I can just show you a little bit. See, I am using this little thing here to do the chart. See, move it up the chart as I go. Hope that wasn't showing too much. It isn't a secret test knit. I'm not exactly sure when she's going to be releasing it, guys, but when she releases it, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Okay, I'm doing this in wool from Tundra, the old Tundra company. And thank you so much to Maylin. She's my knitting buddy here one of my knitting buddies here in the city. If it wasn't for her, oh my goodness, I had to run and get more wool. And yeah, I ran out of this wool, and so it doesn't quite match. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. It's kind of a cooler brown on the bottom, but you know what? Only in this light. When I'm upstairs in natural light, you'd never know. Like, it's really bringing it out with the fluorescent a little bit more. But I'm finished the ribbing, and this is a folded up hem, just like the neckline. This was 2x2 twisted rib. Oh, this was a texture of twisted rib. This was a texture of twisted rib. This neckline was a twisted rib. Wow. 2x2 twisted rib like crazy, but at least it was in the round. So I could sit and go for it while I was watching TV. I didn't have to think about which side I was on, like with the smoke show. Crazy. So I am on the sleeves with this one too. Same thing, only with this sweater, these are very large sleeves holes, and it's also a deep, deep armhole. So I did not have to put as many stitches. So like I said before, if you're like me and you have trouble with getting a pattern to fit you just right out of the gate, try using your upper bust measurement under your armpit. Go around here, and then take your actual full bust measurement. See what's the difference. If it's a complete size difference, then go with the smaller size. Try the smaller size, and then add more under the armpit. Or maybe make the increases a little bit longer if you need the length in here for the raglan or for the drop shoulder. Yeah, there is, I'm going to put the name on the screen. There's a girl that I've been watching. She's a really, really, really great podcaster that explains a lot about how to fit your clothing, fit your knitting, your sweaters, what have you, in your garments. I've been watching her, and I've been following along, and I learned how to do bust starts with her videos and what have you. So, yeah. So I am on the first side sleeve. Is that the back? This is the back. But this is where I was when I talked to you last and showed you last. So I got all of it done at the bottom, which is lots. And then, of course, the other side of the hem. And I started on the sleeve, and I'm just getting into the color work for the sleeve. And the sleeve matches the body. So the sleeves are going to be identical to the body all the way down, I believe. Yep. So it's going to be a long sleeve, and I'm loving it, and it's going to be so toasty warm because this is 100% wool. Again, this is the H sweater by Beatrice Macy. I've done a few of her designs, and I absolutely love them. This wool is from a lady that brought in a bunch of wool from an old company here in Winnipeg that went bankrupt, and I believe, and she acquired all of this beautiful wool on cones, and she put them out onto these beautiful cakes for us, and she sold them to us for next to nothing, like $1 a ball, guys. Crazy, crazy. So yeah, so I just have the 2 sleeves. I'm hoping those will go by a little bit quickly. So as you can see now, I got 4 sleeves. Sleeve Island, I'm going to be on Sleeve Island forever and ever because I'm doing them one at a time. Both my sleeves I'm doing one at a time. Okay, dokie. Oh, here's some. Oh, I got all kinds of stuff in my basket over here that I brought downstairs. Oh my goodness. Here, I'm going to put my sweater down and I'll show you all the goodies. Look at this. I just got this from Amazon. It came in the mail yesterday. Isn't that cute? It's supposed to be able to test your batteries. We have a lot of batteries. Here's a side tangent. Wow, I'm going nuts here. This we have a lot of batteries for things out at the trailer, you know, because of electricity and being out in the bush and what have you. So I wanted to test some batteries and make sure that they're decent, or I won't bother taking them back. And here's another side note. I've got some squash, some spaghetti squash seeds in this bag. It's like that's going to my daughter out in the country. All right, so, ooh, I'm going to be making some Knit with Love socks this winter too, just like on my logo. Oh, that's my daughter Cheryl's pattern. Oh, one more whip. Okay, guys, this is, am I hitting my, better not be hitting my mic, sorry. I got one more whip I started. Okay, so this is a free pattern on Facebook. Okay, so I'm a member of a group called Free Cross Stitch Patterns on Facebook, but Dale from Earndale's, I'll put her information on the screen here. I'll put her link below for you to go click and follow. Dale, she's out, I believe, in rural Manitoba here. I know she's in rural Manitoba. I shouldn't say that because I sent her some stuff, but she put me onto this cute, and I'm sorry, I don't print in color. So this is a cute cross stitch. It's not very big. She's working on one already, but I said, ooh, this would be good for Christmas. So because I was finished this one, my Eat, Sleep, Craft, Repeat, I wanted to start another one because, you know, just to keep my focus on something other than knitting in between things. I set up my Aida cloth. See, I put those little crosses in there, and that's every 10 stitches. And I just, you know, go along and do that. I know a lot of people use those friction pens, but I don't have one. So I grabbed my bag that I made, my little what do you call it here? Cross stitch bag. And I kitted up the colors, and there's not very many. There's 3 greens, a yellow, and 2 reds to do it. And yeah, and I got my hoop ready. Oh, and I made my grime guard a little bit smaller because it was way too big and it was kind of getting in the way. So I wasn't enjoying, you know, stitching with that on there. So I made that grime guard a little bit smaller. And yeah, so I'm ready to go with that. So I'll put that here. I just finished. I zigzag around the edges. If you don't use a sewing machine and you don't want to zigzag, you can always use masking tape too. I've seen that. So yeah, so I'm going to get busy doing that. So that's just something I'll be doing during the day, just as a light project to do that, you know, doesn't require a whole lot of reading except just looking at the actual chart. And that's a pretty simple one. It's pretty small too. It said for ornaments, but I'm going to make it and put it in a little frame. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this frame, and I'm going to make like a little thing for each season. And I'll put that one like Joy, and I'll put that one in there for Christmas and take that one out. Okay, what have I got here? Last but not least, I have got, now, I had to do a trade. I did a trade for some knitting needles with my bestie, Bev. Thank you, Bev. And she had purchased a skein of Arcane Fiberworks yarn with me, some fingering weight, Beautiful, beautiful. This is their logo. This is called Geology Rocks. Again, I'm just matching into everything here. I'm going to come closer. Look at all those beautiful colors. This was a one-time shot, I believe, for Taylor, I think his name's Taylor or Tyler, from Arcane Fiberworks. They're in Alberta, Lethbridge, Alberta. Now, when I balled it up, because my Swift works great, my ball winder screwed up. Now I don't know what to do, so I'm going to just ball it by hand and use the Swift. So yeah, so when it balls up, it looks like that. Yep. And so I'm using, she gave me hers because I gave her a bunch of knitting needles, and I said, well, let's just do a trade. Like, don't buy them, just trade. So yeah, I wanted this other ball of wool because I'm going to put it with, get this, I bought this from Wool Warehouse. I'm not on a yarn ban, not yet. This is the new Yarnsmiths Merino Sock Superwash that all the girls over in England are bragging about. Just love it. Oh, this is really soft. This color is called Opal Gray? Gray Opal? Is that what it was called? I don't remember. I'll give you the number. It's shade 2K003. So I did write it down someplace. But you know what I'm going to make? I got 3 of these. Guess what I'm making? 3 of these and 2 of these. And I'm going to make myself another Shima sweater because I absolutely love this sweater. This was so much fun to make. You guys, it's cool. It's another Beatrice Macy. She's out of France. And I don't know how I came upon her patterns, a few years ago. I guess through, I don't know, just through Ravelry. But I absolutely adore her patterns. Are so cool. So what do you think? You think that'll be a good mix? I think that's going to work out really nice. So this will be the short side, of course, because I've only got 2 balls. And this will be the wider side. I think that's going to turn out really good. And it's got pinks in it. And look at this beautiful little turquoise. And yeah, it's a really nice wool, you guys. I have done Arcane Fiberworks wool before. I actually won 6 balls of their DK. And I made the most beautiful rocket DK, or DK Rocket DK by Tanis Lavallee. I wear it all the time in the winter. It's a long sleeve and it's absolutely scrumptiously squishy. Their wool is to die for soft when it's all done up. It is a superwash, I believe. Of course, let's see, what have I got here? Fingering, weight sock, 80/20, merino nylon. And it doesn't say, but I'm pretty close to saying that this must be a superwash because it is quite smooth. And I have washed my sweater in the washing machine and then laid it out to dry. So yeah, it is really gorgeous. Just loving that. So that is an up and coming project. So once I get these other sweaters off my needles, that's the next one to be cast on for a sweater. That, and I am going to be making a love note. I've decided I have to jump on the bandwagon. Better late than never. I'm going to make myself a love note. So just quickly, this is a Sodoltna crop. And this was made by a lovely lady in Norway. Her name's Bente. You might remember her as Epilogue Lady or Arctic Crafts. And yeah, I won it from her channel. She made it, actually. This might be her yarn, too. I'm not sure. Bente, if you're watching this, or if any of you know Bente, give her a shout. Tell her to watch it. I can't link her podcast anymore because I don't believe she's doing it. She's on to bigger and better things. And yeah, she's a lovely lady, and she made this beautiful squishy top, and it was too big for her. So she said, hey, does anybody want it? And she drew from all the people on her comments, and I won it, and she sent it over to me. Yeah, and I also bought some yarn from her at the same time so that we could split the shipping. So yeah, it is just gorgeous and so soft and squishy. It's a DK, I think, or it could even be a worsted. It's a heavy DK if it's, yeah, I'm going to say this is, I don't know. She'd have to tell you. But it is beautiful. And it is squishy warm for this weather. Sweater weather here. Okay, so I wanted to Um, Before I go, I wanted to give you 2 knitting tips this time around, okay? So yeah, this is a half an hour show again. Sorry, guys. But one is when I'm making these lavender bags. Okay, so I was doing the lavender bags, and I was sewing up these little lavender pouches, these little organza pouches. And I put my lavender here in this Ziploc. But I'm going to put a little video here in here now, quickly, on how I actually take the lavender off of the stem. And a really cool trick I just found out about was, and I was watching it from someone on YouTube, and they actually pulled the twig right through a what do you call that? A cheese grater. And then it all the leaves popped off. And it really worked much better for my mint than for my lavender. As you can see in a little video, I ended up just pulling the leaves off backwards, and I ended up, and this is actually my second pouch. I've already made a bunch of these lavender pouches, and I do keep them, the rest of the lavender, in a Ziploc bag. And then, yeah, I can use that and I change out my lavender pouches every couple of months or so. I'm going to grab a little now. And those are great for putting in with your sock drawer or your sweater drawers, or with your wool, and so to keep out the bugs and the moths and what have you. Moth, bad thing to say. Okay, the second tip I have for you, I will put in a little video again here for you, is how to hang up your sweaters on a coat hanger. Now, I know everybody's like freaking out right now going, no, you can't do this, but yes, you can. There's a way to fold your sweaters over a hanger so that, I mean, if you're going to be wearing them quite frequently, then why shove them in and out of a drawer? Or I end up making a big pile on my chair in my bedroom or whatever. But once I found out about this way to fold my sweaters up onto a coat hanger, and I prefer those velvety black coat hangers, or the coat hangers that people the older style with crochet on them, then yeah, I use those. And then yeah, go ahead and fold up the sweater, hang it up, and then it's okay. It's not going to poke holes through your shoulders or anything like that from the coat hanger. So that's my second tip for you today. Okay, so I am going to take some time and go wrap up a bunch of sock yarn. And what else? I've been purging like crazy in my kitchen, and I did a deep clean in my kitchen this past week and took out a bunch of junk. Oh, before I go, I really would like to send out healing thoughts and prayers to all of my friends and all of your friends and family that are going through things of late, whether it's emotionally, financially, physically. Please reach out to each other, give each other a big hug. We're coming into the winter season in the Northern Hemisphere, so there's a lot of us that have seasonal issues with, you know, the weather, basically, that we get trapped. There's a lot of people out there in this little community that are watching that are shut-ins. Yeah, and leave us a comment or an email. That's great. And yeah, let's just support each other in these dark times coming up, whether they are weather related or not. And for those of you folks that are struggling, you know who you are, and you know I'm here for you. Take care. Knit with love, folks. Mwah. Bye now.